So my story in Malawi began in 1998, and my question has been growing since then. How do we create something that brings more people to this country? More people, more tourists, more media, more artists, and more interest. How do we create the demand for a country so often overlooked? And my question led me to create the Lake of Stars Festival. And that journey has shown me that cultural tourism can be a key factor to development in the warm heart of Africa. Now, I first came to Malawi as a gap year student, fresh-faced, skinny, and had an amazing time here. I was living up in Lilongwe, traveling between Nkota, Blantyre, and the north, and the country inspired me. I had the time of my life. And when I went back to the UK, I just wanted to do more, to tell people to come out here and experience the country for themselves. And back in the UK, I went to university in Liverpool, and I got into the music and club scene. And one year, friends and I thought we'd try and start our own club night. But we were stuck for a name until a friend pointed at the Chibuku Shake Shake beer carton that I had stuck on my wall. And the name stuck. Chibuku UK was born. Now, this was at the time of the super clubs like Cream and Ministry of Sound. And in comparison, our night was tiny. Just a sweaty box of a club, everyone dancing on the tables, bouncing off the walls, 100 people once a month. And the atmosphere was incredible. And slowly the club grew. The lineups got better, the venues got bigger, and the media took notice, naming us Best UK Club in 2004. And the whole time I was seeing Chibuku grow, I was thinking about Malawi. And I was seeing firsthand how events have that power to pull people together, to pull music lovers from their homes and take them to a new location, a new destination. And we were seeing people from across the UK come to Liverpool for Chibuku. And we even took the club out to Moscow, to Ibiza. So I started to think about how we could use the audience that we had and the artists that we were working with and try and put something on in Malawi, something that would support the creative sector and boost tourism. And everyone thought I was crazy. Everyone thought it was a mad idea. Where was Malawi? Is it safe? How do we get there? And it wasn't until we got Andy Cato on board as a headliner from Dance at Groove Armada that all the doubters turned around and said, okay, so if that guy is signed up and he's going to play on that beach at that lake, we're on board. When do we fly? How do we get there? Let's go. Then we need to get our local partners involved. So I emailed all the contacts I could find from the Lonely Planet guidebook, and the response was overwhelming. Everyone said, this is a great idea, this can work, we want this to happen. And two names stood out. That's Harry Gibbs and Chris Badger. And they offered a venue and a willingness to work with us to make it all possible. And the first festival took place the following year, and 700 people attended. Now, we're in our 14th year, a little bit older, still not that wise. And we've started new events here. We've done 11 Lake of Stars festivals, and we started new events like the Children's Festival, Lilongwe Shorts, and City of Stars. But the question remains the same. What more can we do to put Malawi on the map? And how do we challenge and change the often negative perception of Malawi? And I feel that cultural tourism is key to this. So there are three pillars to our work, and there's travel, culture, and media. So with travel, it's about creating an event that acts as a magnet, moving people to Malawi, and once they're here, the country does the rest. And whether it's the scenery that you see, or it's the Malawians you meet when you come here, it's the location that sets this event apart from other events around the world. And the economic impact of the festival is significant. The tourists that come and travel around having their holiday, their adventures here, they're spending between $2,000 to $3,000 as they move around. So the festival's generating around $1.6 million each year. With culture, it's about different cultures connecting, sharing ideas, music, poetry, and dance. It's about exploring Malawi's culture and heritage and that of cultures around the world. We had over 15 nationalities perform at last year's event. And with the media, it's about challenging this single story, the danger of the single story that Chimamanda Adichie spoke of in her TED Talk. If we only view a place as a single story and as one of poverty, how can anything change? How can we encourage people to travel here or to invest here? So we have to create something positive to tackle that attitude. And that's what Lake of Stars is. It's a vehicle for change. It's a platform for development, for art, for culture. And it's this positive message that the media pick up on. And it's given us a media reach of 600 million with coverage from the BBC and CNN. That positive message with global and local talent mixing together on the shores of Lake Malawi. That's the winning combination. And there are challenges. There's huge challenges still in tourism and in culture. There's a lack of funding from the private sector, from the donor community. There's a lack of direct flights from Europe still. I mean, British Airways did fly direct, and then they cancelled that route the year we started the festival. So thanks for that. It's helpful. And we've got big contenders in tourism in this region. Tanzania, Kenya, South Africa, places you can get to more easily, with coastlines, with better stocked game parks. So if we're going to compete, we've got to create our own noise, our own hype. And here's a few ideas on how we do that. So music tourism, with festivals as a focus, is essential. And when we started, we were the only festival happening. Now there's dozens, and it's brilliant to see this events industry developing. Whether it's the Tumeni Festival in Zaleka refugee camp, or it's Sandfest, hosting 7,000 people at Senga Bay, these events are growing, and they need more support, whether it's from the private sector, the government, or the public. And these events they're highlighting artists, they're highlighting amazing things happening in the country, and they're using locations in the best way. And there are more locations that we can work with, whether it be Zomba or the Nika Plateau. I mean, even Lilongwe is still without its arts festival, for now. Then we've got to look at film tourism. As you leave Blantyre and you drive out on the Zomba Road, you pass a school, the Amatofo Care Center. It's run by a monk from Taiwan. And every morning there's 200 children practicing Shaolin Kung Fu. Now across the road from them is a ruined castle, an 18th century castle with a network of tunnels underneath. So could this be the cast and the setting for Malawi's first Kung Fu film? I mean, why not? You know, we've got to try it. We have to try everything. We have to look at things like Game of Thrones and what that's done for Northern Ireland's tourism figures, an increase of 65% since the TV show was filmed there. Look at Lord of the Rings in New Zealand. I mean, hundreds of thousands of film fans who have flocked there to look for the scenery of Mordor and Middle-earth. And this is scenery that we have here. I mean, this rock formation here is taken from New Zealand. It appears in Lord of the Rings, but we've got the same setup with the Chikala pillars just outside of Zomba. So we have these locations, and we need to do more to encourage filmmakers and location scouts to come and travel around Malawi and help us develop the film industry. Then there's sports tourism. And in 2010, Adidas came and they shot an amazing film of two world-class climbers taking on the boulders and the rocks of Cape Maclear and Senga Bay. We've been in touch with the film director, and he's keen to come back and shoot more of Malawi. We've got the Luwawa bike race. We've got Cape Maclear triathlon. We've got the Porters race that's happening on 9th of July. Now, if any of you are up for a challenge, come and run this race with me. This is 24 kilometers up and down Malanje. Around 400 people take part. most of them doing it barefoot. You can choose to wear shoes or not, that's up to you guys. But this is an amazing event, and it's been going for 20 years. So we're working with the race committee, and we're working with Save the Children and other NGOs to position the Porter's Race as a global challenge event, so other charities can encourage their supporters to come and take part. Come and raise funds for the charity you care about, but come and travel around Malawi and experience Malanje. I mean, forget about walking up Kilimanjaro. That's easy. Come and run up Mount Malanje. Come and tackle the island in the sky. And let's get the celebrities on board. Let's get Ronaldo or Eddie Izzard to come and take part. It'll boost the media, it'll bring more visitors, it'll help the economy. And we have to be creative in how we market the country. And in 2011, Red Bull took Danny McCaskill, a trial biker, through Scotland. And he did an amazing video that's had 37 million views so far. Now, Danny's skills are impressive, no doubt, but it's the scenery of Scotland where this is all set, which is just as stunning. So why don't we invite Danny to Malawi? Let's take Danny and Red Bull to Lilongwe or Lacoma Island, and let's film something here. We've got to be creative in how we present Malawi and how we build the brand of Malawi. And who can help us with all these ideas? But one of Malawi's closest allies, Scotland. I mean, a land of 400 festivals, a leading player in film, theatre, and music. More can be done to bring Scotland and Malawi together through creativity and through tourism and the arts. So my idea is that Malawi must create events and moments utterly unique to this country. We have to look at the beauty of the country and of each other, look at the history and heritage that's here, capture these moments, share them with the world, and invite the world in. Don't drill for oil in the lake, just sail across it instead. And stop destroying the forests. Organize an ultra marathon and run through the trees. And let's find our champions, old and young, in music, art, and sport, and celebrate them and tell their story. Because apparently we're the poorest country in the world, so it's time for a new approach, and it's time to get radical. And Malawi has the potential to be a creative, exciting country, can explore the possibilities of its culture and of cultures around the world. And the impact of cultural tourism cannot be underestimated. It is our sleeping giant. It is the beast that we must wake. We must look inside and celebrate all that is great about Malawi. Thank you.